Welcome. My name's Alden Reed, and you're watching Arcane Tablets. It's late at night, after midnight, so we can get into some good stuff, right? Still sober, which is good, but it does make making these videos a little bit harder, right? I actually just made one, and I wasn't satisfied with it. I become more of a perfectionist, become more critical of myself, right? It's a nice thing about having a little bit of wine or something. You can kind of feel the flow more easily. Anyways, it's okay. We're still going to dish out the information here. So I just want to briefly talk about how secret societies are always a bad thing, and how secrecy in general is usually not a good thing as well, right? I'm not talking about privacy. That's entirely different. Everyone has a right to privacy, right? I'm talking about groups of people, especially powerful people, elite people, and get together and make organizations or clubs. We all know the names of many of these groups, right? Many of these societies, right? Obviously, the Freemasons are the most well-known as far as modern groups go. But there's many, and they go back a long time in history. They're often frequently changing, evolving, dissolving, and reforming. And there are some personalities at the core of what's happening, guiding things. People behind the scenes, understanding the larger metaphysical things going on, right? So much so that even many of people who are in some of these societies, quite powerful and elite people, don't even really know the whole picture themselves, right? That's what they believe in, right? Compartmentalization and need to know. Those are watchwords of the CIA, or really the post-World War II Anglo-American Western regime, right? But certainly, there are things that any group of powerful elites have frequently believed in the past. And the reason that they keep things secret is because they want to do bad things, right? So they don't want you to know what they're intending to do. And to the extent that people know about them, of course, they like to sometimes present themselves as if they are enlightened or illuminated or working for the betterment of mankind, right? Of all human beings, against the savage and bestial nature of humanity. And all the traditional sort of authoritarian, patriarchal, militaristic, corrupt governments that have largely comprised most of what has passed for government on this planet, at least for the past 6,000 years or so. But what they want to replace it with is nothing better. In fact, what they want to replace it with is arguably worse, right? And so you should always be incredibly suspicious, if not just immediately distrustful of any kind of secret group, right? Any kind of occult group. Yes, my channel is named Arcane Tablets, right? Arcane secret tablets writing, because I am delving deep and dishing out information. I'm obviously not a member of any kind of organization or whatever. I'm just a dude making videos here late at night, walking the path of righteousness, the path of God and love. And we walk that path in the open, in the sunlight. So any personality, or group that likes to hide or conceal things and operate in secret is not to be trusted. They do not have good intentions. They are not working for the betterment of mankind or humanity. Like all powerful elite people who get together and make plans, they're working for their own interests. Not for your interests, not for society's interests, right? I just finished reading, actually, War and Peace. Great, wonderful book. Of course, it's very interesting at the end when Pierre and Nikolai are sort of arguing over secret societies. And Tolstoy has a lot to say about the Freemasons, right? And he had eyes wide open about it. And I think a lot of people did, right? Throughout most of history, I think people generally understood a couple things that modern people have seemingly entirely forgot. Or really been convinced to forget, I should say. Or ignore. And the first thing is that, yes, there are lots of secret societies and that elites are constantly getting together and conspiring for their interest. Right? And the second thing is that this is never really a good thing. There's nothing really positive that's going to come out of it. And again, there's a certain life cycle that these societies have. You know, they sort of oftentimes will start off a little bit more positive at the beginning, although there are always forces even further behind the scenes directing things. But inevitably, as Tolstoy explains in War and Peace, the natural logic of powerful elite people getting together, making plans, trying to decide what's going to happen for the rest of us, is going to lead to bad things happening. And these people think that they've been chosen. But they're not to be trusted, and there's nothing good about what they're doing. So any group, historically speaking, that operates in this occult or secret society sense is not good. And that doesn't mean that there aren't, at times, perhaps individual members here and there within some of these groups who may have had some good intentions, right? But the overall weight of most of these organizations, especially at the highest levels in terms of the most powerful individuals, is always tilting towards something negative, towards more elite power and control, right? They're basically the secret intelligence arm of oligarchy. And if you want to do good, if you want to walk the path of righteousness, walk the path of God, and spread truth and love and justice, and create a world full of peace and equality and brotherhood and sisterhood, and all the good, wonderful stuff, right? Then you do so in the open. We walk in the open. Always. And we don't worry about that. There's no need to conspire. Again, the only reason people are so even confused about this to a certain extent today is because these secret societies, especially, of course, the Freemasons, the modern version of the Cabal, right, have been so successful. Especially since the world wars, they've acquired so much power, right? So much so that they've been able to exert an immense amount of pressure and influence to convince people that either there are no secret societies or that they're just some kind of benign, banal thing, right? Professional intellectuals and academics and journalists and all these people, they're supposed to be, again, muckraking and protecting us, analyzing these things, right? They've been tricked and deluded into believing that these things aren't even real. And partly that is because they've been infiltrated as well. That's what I'm saying. These groups have been so successful in the 20th century in particular. and even more so now in the 21st century, that it actually serves their interest far more to almost rewrite history. People in the 19th or early 20th century were not confused about this. They were perfectly aware that many powerful elites were Freemasons. And I would say the majority of people, especially regular people, were also aware that these people were not up to good things, that they had bad intentions. And we're going to talk a lot about history and occult groups and secret societies. Right? But just understand, it's never a good thing. Secrecy and lying and secret societies. It's about elite power. When they present themselves as having this occult information, sometimes they do have some information. Sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. Sometimes they're just lying and deceiving. Right? And I'm not saying that you can't learn some things from them or some of their literature. Sometimes you certainly can. But just remember that the do-gooders walk in the sunlight. There's no need to conspire and form secret societies. They're always a bad thing. Many blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want you to know that I love you so much. Excuse me. And I want you to know that God loves you so much as well. Many blessings. We will see you soon.